Hey, what's going on, everybody? DuneBlaze1996 here, and today we're gonna dive into the bowels of the internet known as Twitter for probably one of the most ridiculous reasons I've ever fucking seen in my life. So, as most of you may or may not know, I'm a huge gamer alongside my EAS content, which I prioritize on this channel. But I also, when I saw this and I saw many big YouTubers like Moist Critical, Review Tech USA, some ordinary gamers, as well as many others talking about this, and I saw what it was about. It legitimately made me sick to my stomach, and it legitimately makes me just cringe and wish I could bleach my eyeballs just thinking about it. In fact, I want to know why this is even controversial in the first place. So, for those who are not like seasoned gamers in the FPS scene like I am, this taunt called teabagging. And what basically means, let's just say you get a really badass kill on somebody and you wanted to rub it in their face, so you walk over to their dead body and crouch up and down over them. It's basically the equivalent of dipping your virtual balls in their face. And it's been done for like over a decade now, prioritized and like popularized by Halo 3 and other big titles in the 2000s where doing that was considered like funny or just a dick move to really stick it to somebody who just like mowed down in the game in an epic way. Now, there's some people on Twitter who are claiming that this is just a like sexual assault and it's traumatizing. Now, you would think these guys would get ratioed on Twitter quicker than rain hitting the ground, but oh, you poor soul. Oh, you'd be terribly, terribly wrong. In fact, this is getting so out of control that we now have big leagues, like big tournament organizers, like banning people for doing it now. One infamous case during an Apex Legends tournament not too long ago, where this one guy did it as a joke to his own teammate, and the organizer got like all his panties all in a bunch and banned them for like life for doing it. And it's like, and first of all, this guy was it's like find out quick that this wasn't even illegal to do in the tournament. It was not in the rules. This guy literally made it up on the spot because he wanted to sound like high and mighty. Here, watch this.
Yo, okay, Dilly is Crazy Penguins is disqualified. I'm not taking that at all. Oh, he went over to the dead body that they just killed, and he went teabagged on the fucking death box. Just because you can hide behind this and get to use this little thing, you're not gonna do that in the real world. So don't do that.
Yes, you heard that correctly. Apparently, this guy actually believes that people will just walk up to a random stranger in the fucking street and dip their nuts in their face. Literally, nobody is going to do this, you fucking moron. In fact, if you're going to use that logic, is me shooting someone in a video game and killing them make me a fucking murderer? Someone who should be charged and sent to prison? This right here is a testament to just how fucking stupid people have become, and it's honestly pathetic. It's also a huge slap in the face to victims of actual sexual assault who went through way worse and had to live with the trauma of it. The comparison just makes me want to vomit because it's legitimately fucking disgusting. And if you thought this couldn't get any worse, it does. We now have big companies banning people. Two pro players were recently banned by Riot Games, who I'm sure you're very familiar with, for giving their thoughts on the situation. We're going to go ahead and read the article, this news article I pulled up here, and then we're going to discuss it. Two Valorant players have been temporarily suspended for participating in Riot-sanctioned events following a heated incident last month over teabagging people in games. Riot has ruled that Dawn is banned from any association or affiliation with a team in a Riot-sanctioned competition for 3 months, while Razora, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, has received a 9-month ban. This comes from Eurogamer. The situation kicked off in late June on the Valorant's Discord, a community set up to elevate women and non-binary Valorant players, after a member, referred to as Player A in Riot's ruling, posted a message equating teabagging someone in-game to sexual assault. It sparked a fiery debate on the Discord server, with both Dawn and Razora becoming involved, before moderators went ahead and closed down the server for an entire week. The topics ended up spilling over to Twitter, with figures like streamer Charlie Critical White and Jake Lucky throwing their hat in the ring. During this time, Riot's ruling saying the discussion evolved into an argument spanning multiple Twitter posts. Dawn's responses including a vulgar and targeted remark towards the unnamed player. The ruling goes on to say how Razora created multiple Twitter posts specifically targeted at Player A, in which Razora pasted Gallant's Discord's conversations between themselves and Player A. Razora proceeded to post a video they edited in which they amplified and personally added a vulgar commentary around Player A. On June 28th, Razora directly tagged and targeted Player A as the subject of the vulgar post. Riot says as well they are conducting external interviews with those involved in the incident and reviewed extensive screenshots and video of the alleged violations. All of this has led to both Dawn and Razora's temporary bans, as Riot says the two were in violation of Rule 731, vulgar or hateful speech, while Razora were also in violation of Rule 734, harassment. So I already know a bunch of my friends will end up watching this video, and they may or may not know my actual thoughts on this whole thing, but honestly, if you believe walking over and teabagging someone is the same thing as sexual assault, you really need to relearn the definition of sexual assault. I know I mentioned this earlier in the video, but you know what? It's worth mentioning again. So by this bullshit logic, should I go to jail for attempted murder or murder itself by shooting and killing someone in a game? Should I just walk up to the nearest police officer I find outside and say, "Hey, I just shot someone in a game. Cuff me right now, officer"? This whole argument is honestly ridiculous and unbelievably stupid. If you're that sensitive to the point where someone is doing something to you in a fake reality game, like it's not even personally affecting you IRL, and it gives you trouble or trauma, you really need to rethink your fucking life choices. This is a huge slap in the face to victims of actual sexual assault and have had to live with it for years. You're pissing on their stories because you want to try and take the fun out of something because you can't grow the spine and roll with the punches. This has been a part of gamer culture for so many years, and it's a completely fucking harmless thing. It is doing nothing, absolutely nothing, to harm you in real life. I mean, sure, some people get mad over it, but I guarantee none of them have become traumatized over it like these idiots who lack half a brain are claiming. Riot Games doing this, unfortunately, has set a scary precedent for the future, and I hope to God no other big companies pick up on this, because if they do, this is just going to get progressively worse. Not to mention that Riot Games also blatantly, clear as day, doxed both of these players by releasing their full names without their consent, which is just a mind-blowingly awful, stupid blunder that I'm actually baffled as to how a company can mess up that badly, and that's saying something, considering I still play games from Activision and Blizzard, who have had no shortage of blunders the past year. I don't support what they did and never will, and it's completely okay to like a company, but, or hate a company, rather, and but like what they produce. It's okay to actually still play the games while speaking out against something, and that's something I will always stand for tenfold. But I am beyond fucking tired of these people who probably haven't left their parents' attic or basement in years, ruining the fun for everybody else, and pretending to represent the common public when they don't, because they sit on Twitter or some other fucking social media and preach just bullshit that they likely have little to no clue about or have done little to no research on. If you honestly believe that teabagging in video games is sexual assault, please do the human race a favor and don't reproduce, and get out of your parents' attic or basement and go see how the real world actually operates. Anyway, that's all I gotta say on this. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like my take on this, feel free to leave a like or dislike it, whichever. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content. If you disagree with me, write in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you say about this or your take on it. This is Dune Blaze 1996 signing out. Hey, have a good one.